For a while now, we've been covering a worldwide movement, a subculture really within the broader search for UFOs. It's a group of people who not only believe extraterrestrial visitors have been coming to the planet, but that we humans have the power to summon them and spot them with infrared binoculars like these. And they say there's video to prove it.
October 2021. It's a clear and cool evening in the quiet town of Meriden, Connecticut. Bruce Waterbury is out on his back deck with a pair of infrared binoculars looking for signs of extraterrestrial activity, when suddenly he sees this. A large, bright light moves in the sky across a field of stars. Take a closer look. Its shape appears to be solid and close to a near-perfect circle. There are no blinking lights, and it doesn't appear to expel any exhaust or have visible means of propulsion.
It was like shimmering. Just shimmering, super bright, and it was just quiet. And the adrenaline was rushing through my arms and everything, so it was a little shaky.
Then, after Bruce circles a laser pointer around the orb, it appears to shrink in size and then suddenly disappears. But Bruce doesn't believe this UFO sighting was some random occurrence.
I believe there's alien life. I'm not an expert, but I try to follow the steps to make contact with extraterrestrials.
Writer Amy Title explains the process is part of a new trend in UFO circles called CE5.
CE5 is a UFO summoning group. The people who are involved with CE5 use a special app, certain frequencies, and meditation to try to summon UFOs so they can see them.
Sounds strange? Well, the idea of contacting aliens isn't as radical as you might think. In fact, a group called METI, which stands for Messaging Extraterrestrial Intelligence, was formed in 2015 to establish a scientific protocol for contacting aliens, albeit in a higher tech way than CE5 summoners.
METI is a group that transmits interstellar messages via radio telescope, basically putting messages out into space in the hopes that someone will receive and hear them. In 2017, METI sent a message of scientific and mathematical equations to Lytton's star, which sits 12 light years from the Earth.
Now, Lytton's star was chosen because of a planet in its solar system, GJ273b, which has been called a super-Earth. It's nearly 3 times as large as Earth and thought to be a good candidate for extraterrestrial life. But can UFOs be summoned from there or anywhere else? Let's see what our experts think.
We begin with astronomer and video effects designer Mark D'Antonio to see if this might be some sort of aircraft.
Aircraft have red lights, they have green lights, they have a bottom strobe. So we can immediately say it's not an airplane, and it's not a drone in my view because you'd have to have a very, very bright light, which wouldn't make any sense. And when you get UFO reports, you hear the object move through the sky at an unbelievable speed and then did a 90-degree turn to the left or right. But in this particular case, we don't see any of that.
So if it's not a UFO, is it something more down to earth? An animal seen among the stars almost every evening.
I have seen some night vision imagery of things that fly across the sky, but usually they're objects like bats. And creatures like bats have a very erratic flight pattern.
Instead, D'Antonio points to the smooth motion and path of the object as a defining clue.
If you look in the night sky, any night of the year, you can see upwards of anywhere from 5 to 10 satellites an hour.
But if it's a satellite, why does it look like a glowing ball of light? D'Antonio thinks he has the answer.
The satellite could have been high enough up in the atmosphere where the sunlight was hitting it and illuminating it, and it was reflecting the sunlight. And it was dimming because it was going over the Earth's terminator into the Earth's shadow, and so it saw less and less sun until it saw none.
But based on the size of the object, Rich Hoffman of the Scientific Coalition for UAP Studies respectfully disagrees.
It looks relatively large compared to the stars, which would tell you that it's relatively close to the observer. And so in that context, you would be saying that, well, possibly that's the Earth light phenomena, which are basically balls of gas. They're a bubble moving across the sky, and they emit a light, different colors. They tend to be near ground and getting up to maybe about 2,000 feet altitude and moving in a straight line.
Hoffman says one theory is that Earth lights are generated by tectonic strains within the Earth's crust that create an electric charge which ignites gases released within the ground.
It's the closest match that I can come up with. But can I conclusively say that that's what it is? No. So it would fall into the category of being an unidentified aerial phenomena until it's proven otherwise. Because even when you want to call it something else, you need to really have that convincing evidence that supports the fact that that's what it really would be.
Our verdict, we're going with genuine UFO. Although both our experts have good arguments, as Hoffman says, until we can get more definitive proof, we feel we can't say exactly what this is. But one thing we do want to make clear, using a laser pointer in the night sky is not only dangerous to pilots and aircraft, but illegal. So if you want to do any pointing at UFOs, use your finger instead.